Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Expert explains how Ripple takes steps to support XRP price. Now, this article's highlighting a debate that was taking place within the XRP community. And it was interesting because one of the perspectives, as you'll see, was that despite all this legal clarity, what it do for XRP? Ripple can't even sell all the XRP that they get out of Escrow because nobody wants it. That's the type of argument that one guy's making here. And then there's the idea of what does it mean if Ripple's supporting the price of XRP? What does it mean if they've been making very specific choices in terms of their XRP selling strategy with the intent of having a specific impact on the price of XRP? Even if that intent is to have a low impact on the price of XRP, even if it's that. Does that mean anything? And so these are the types of things being discussed, and I think they're fun topics of conversations. And I always love having these back and forths where people just can speak like adults and respectfully disagree, which is mostly what this is. Although I do think that one of the guys is likely just absolutely hates XRP. But that's fine; he doesn't have to like it. But I think that there's a chance that it may have kind of tainted somebody saying. But we'll get into it. Before going further, I do want to be clear: I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, I didn't check the price of XRP right before recording this video, but I did earlier this morning, and XRP was around 48 cents. So price is going down at this particular juncture in time to the point where XRP is about back where it was before it had legal clarity. And so you be thinking, well, what gives? And I've said my perspective on that particular aspect of what's going on here. I firmly believe XRP price right now would be way lower than it is without legal clarity. Because XRP is it's technically even a hair higher than where it was right before that legal clarity came, but Bitcoin's down. Bitcoin is down and XRP is slightly up. And we know that XRP follows Bitcoin, so that should tell you something. And it's also abundantly clear that in times like this when fewer people are paying attention to crypto, despite good news, it's just the people who are already paying attention that have an opportunity to react to it. It's not like in late 2017, when everybody's sitting around, the Thanksgiving dinner table and talking about how the price of Bitcoin is doing so-and-so and all the other cryptos. Same thing happened at Christmas in 2017. Same type of conversations taking place really the world over in much of 2021, a completely different market cycle. That's not the type of environment that we were in, that we were in when XRP got its legal clarity. And so it's very clear that you can't fix over 2.5 years of damage to global XRP price that quickly. Now, it can be fixed, and adoption can get back to where it otherwise would have and should have been, but you can't fix it, especially when there's less attention. If you're talking price action, because, developer activity is up, but if you're talking in terms of price action, you can't instantly fix that when almost nobody's paying attention to crypto. It's like you're paying attention to crypto, I'm paying attention to crypto. This is the most important time to pay attention to crypto for people who are positioning themselves for inevitable moves to the upside for the asset class just in general. But still, I understand. People get a little stressed out when things go down here. But let me explain where this all stems from. XRP price dips to 49 cents, sparking debates on Ripple escrow management strategy. XRP's price has fallen below the 50-cent mark. This effectively means XRP has lost the gains it accumulated following another pivotal ruling from the court case between Ripple and the U.S. regulator. Amid XRP's current market permanence, the crypto community debates XRP's appeal from the perspective of Ripple's management of its monthly escrow XRP release. In a recent tweet, X-user Alter Diego raised concerns about Ripple's supposed inability to sell a significant portion of its monthly XRP escrow allocation, even after gaining regulatory clarity. Yeah, so that's the part where I'd push back pretty hard. That's just nonsense here. But this is where it all stemmed from. There's a post from attorney Bill Morgan, XRP community member, showing at the time that he posted this, XRP was actually still over 50 cents. But he wrote the following. XRP has now almost entirely XRP has now almost entirely lost the gains from the recent Torres decision on the SEC's motion for an interlocutory appeal, as it previously almost entirely lost the gains from the summary judgment decision in July. And so he's obviously very pro XRP. He's just pointing out what is obviously a fact. It is what it is. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's particularly negative. Either the asset class is worth way more in the future or it's not. My answer is yes. And the Flare community X account responded and shared some perspective that I actually think is spot on here. So if you're feeling down that XRP price is down or your crypto in general is down compared to what it was even recently, well, just consider this. Flare community wrote, "It is true, but I ask people to consider this. Is XRP a more desirable asset to hold now than it was before Judge Torres' decision? It's a rhetorical question. Of course it is. The price will go where the market takes it, but the value for XRP is growing as developers continue to build incredible things every day. If the price goes down, it does not make it a bad asset. In my opinion, it only raises opportunity." Right, and so I firmly agree with that sentiment. With XRP price being about what it was before XRP had legal clarity, was it more risky back then or less risky back then? Is it more risky now or less risky now? I argue that it's, well, holding XRP or any crypto, I think there's a lot of risk. There are a lot of unknowns. Something could go wrong that we couldn't have foreseen. I get that. And investing is risky anyway. But I personally believe that it's a lot less risky holding XRP today than before that conclusion. So at the same price, it increasingly becomes more of a no-brainer. And you can see all of the other behavior from the institutional whales. I talked about that in an earlier video today. So I'm going to go off on that path. But it's true. It's obviously true. And so you have Attorney Morgan respond to Flare community and wrote, "For sure. Has legal clarity, but now virtually at the same price it had with legal uncertainty." And then Flare community responded to Attorney Morgan and said, "Exactly. XRP today is a much better asset in terms of its value proposition since before the decision. The short-term price fluctuations are irrelevant. The crypto market will mature and break out of synchronicity of Bitcoin. Assets' value will soon be based on their own merits." Now that, absolutely hitting it out of the park. I've been preaching that, since I jumped into crypto. I just don't know how long it's going to take, and it may be the case that we're at a point where maybe finally it's true. And some altcoins, even though they're going to move they do broadly move in tandem with what the broader market does. Maybe we're at a point where there are some coins out there that even if they continue to correlate, they're not going to hit new all-time highs ever again. That might be true. We'll see what happens, but they're not quite going to zero yet, which just kind of tells me that we're still closer to nascency as it pertains to this asset class than we are to maturity. Because in a mature market, you wouldn't have over 20,000 different cryptos when almost none of them actually do anything. You wouldn't have that. So that screams, and especially with them not being judged on their own merits, yes, absolutely. And so eventually, like if you're talking about in terms of XRP fundamentals, they're stronger than ever. XRP fundamentals and developer activity, it's better than a year ago. And it has legal clarity. So the fact it's going down, which has nothing to do with anything that's XRP specific, that's astonishing. It is what it is. But I mean, in a mature market, I don't think it's going to be like that. Other than you could state in terms of times of like global macro chaos, just like because you do see that in the stock market too. Like stocks across the board kind of take a hit, but that doesn't matter. You can point to instances like that. I'm not denying that. But what I am saying is that broadly speaking, individual stocks, they're judged on the performance of the company at hand. You're not sufficiently seeing that with individual cryptocurrencies. Here you have an XRP community member named Julian who wrote to Flare community and said, "I so hope you're right in that prediction. I loathe Bitcoin and ETH as business propositions and long for the price of XRP and other assets to be less synchronized with these products. I have always expected for this problem to go away with time, but so far it has not happened." Yeah, so I think a lot of us expect, I think Julian's right there too. I just don't pretend to know how long it's going to take. I really don't. But I think it's an inevitability. That's my stance on this. So even if it takes a decade or two, whatever it ends up being, we're going to get there. But this is where you have Alter Diego jump in, who clearly is not exactly a fan of XRP. And this is the reason this article even exists. Here's what Alter Diego had to say. The fact that Ripple doesn't manage to sell even half of its monthly XRP escrow release even after having gained clarity should tell you everything you need to know about this coin. Okay, so there you go. There it is from Alter Diego. Ripple can't even sell all the, so it keeps going out of escrow. They put it back in escrow. They can't even sell the XRP. Nobody wants it. And after having legal clarity, my God. Now the problem is that's a bogus nonsense assertion, because Ripple has been very transparent about the way in which they sell XRP. They want it to be a particularly small percentage of the overall global volume, which is why when you look at their quarterly market reports for XRP, which they don't have to share with us, but they create them for us, for the public, you know, it varies a little bit, but in terms of global volume from quarter to quarter, it's typically about 0.4% of total volume. So they could sell more, and if they just sold XRP hand over fist, which they could do, they could just dump 100% of it on the market month after month after month. And they also have some XRP that's not in escrow right now. They can just dump it all. You know, that would probably have an impact on price, but they're intentionally doing things in such a way that that's not the case. It's not that they couldn't sell it. It's just that if they were to do that, it's just supply and demand. It's how it works with any asset. If there's a ton of it that suddenly hits the market, then you're not going to have enough people willing to purchase it at what today is the current market rate for XRP. That's it. It's not that there wouldn't be people to buy it. It would just push the price down if enough hit the market. Do I have to really explain supply and demand to Alter Diego? Apparently the answer is yes. It does seem like the answer is yes here. But that was reposted by Attorney Bill Morgan. Here's what Attorney Bill Morgan had to say about this, and I thought that this is a proper response. He said, the fact Ripple decides not to sell most of the XRP released each month from escrow tells me what I already know from the SEC's evidence in the Ripple case. Ripple takes steps to support XRP's price. Okay, hitting the nail on the head again. And there's a certain amount that has been revealed, even from Ripple's internal communications on this topic, and it just, you know what it proves is that they're being the best to be a good cheerleader for the entirety of the XRP ecosystem, which you would logically expect since they have the most to lose if things go badly. Duh. Here you have XRP community member ApeSZN, who wrote, sounds like a security with a little laughy emoji. So obviously he's kidding. He doesn't think it's a security, so sounds like a security. Although Attorney Bill Morgan did take that the wrong way, it seems. Attorney Bill Morgan wrote, you are wrong. A court has already found XRP itself is not a security, and the SEC does not seek appellate review of that finding. Oil producers influence the price of oil per barrel by increasing or slowing production. That does not make oil a security. And so, folks, even though he didn't recognize immediately it was a joke, that doesn't matter. I'm highlighting it because that last point is spot on. I mean, what's the state of things? You hold an asset, but then you're not allowed to have any impact on the global price? Because, I mean, but think about it. If that were the law, and it's not, thankfully, I guess you could hold XRP, but you couldn't sell it, and you couldn't buy it because that would impact the price too. Like, if you have it, you have it. Like, obviously, that's not the case. It's part of a global ecosystem, whether you're talking about XRP or Bitcoin or oil, whatever it is. There's global ecosystems for all of these things. And so Attorney Morgan points out quite properly that oil producers influence the price of oil per barrel by increasing or slowing down production. Well, there you go. That's a perfect analogy. It doesn't seem that tremendously different than what Ripple is doing because they're the largest whale holder of XRP in existence, which I don't have a problem with. I don't even see it as some sort of horrific negative. I mean, I was aware of this in 2017 before I started buying a ton of XRP, and I just was like, well, it is what it is. It doesn't make logical sense to me that they're going to sabotage the entire ecosystem because that's not to their benefit. And if I'm wrong, fine, then I guess I take a big L on that XRP thing. I was thinking that back in 2017. But of course they're not. Of course that's not what they're doing here. It's conceptually quite similar. But Alter Diego responded to Bill Morgan, and he said, there is not enough demand for XRP. Okay, so here's the thing, folks. He writes that, and it seems to me that he's writing it because he's anti-XRP. He wants to make that point. He wants it to appear as though there's something uniquely, specifically wrong with XRP. People just don't want it because that would support his perspective his ideology, his thesis, whatever you want to call it, if that's true and it's about XRP, then Alter Diego wins, right? That presumably something like that may be going through his mind. But either way, he's very anti-XRP, and that's what he stated. But I've been saying for a long time, if people are wondering why XRP price is down, let's not overcomplicate this. I've been saying this, you probably have heard me say this. XRP price is not higher because there's not more demand. That's literally true. So the guy is right here. I'm just noting that that doesn't paint the whole picture, because the truth is that this is true also for Bitcoin, because the entire asset class moves in tandem. And what causes the price of XRP to move the most? Bitcoin. Bitcoin impacts the price of XRP the most. So if XRP is going down, there's a good chance that Bitcoin's going down. And if Bitcoin's going up, there's a good chance that eventually, shortly after, XRP will go up. Even if not down at the same second, minute, day, so on and so forth, if you zoom out over a long period of time, look on a chart, you will see that tremendous correlation. So he says there's not enough demand for XRP, but that doesn't sufficiently paint the picture. There's not enough demand for crypto right now. It's not uniquely an XRP problem, and I think it's disingenuous to put out an argument where you're specifically focusing on one out of over 20,000 cryptocurrencies when the entire asset class moves in tandem. Now, Attorney Morgan wasn't letting him get away with that silly argument, and so he wrote, then there must not be enough demand for crypto generally, including Bitcoin, because the market is largely moving with Bitcoin. Spot on. That's exactly what it is here. And so look, just to be clear, I have no problem with Ripple doing what they're doing as it pertains specifically to the buying and selling, how that could potentially impact the price of XRP. I have no qualms with what they're doing. And if Ripple ends up, I mean, they already have more money than God, but if they end up with more money than God times 2 or 3 or 4 or 10, I don't care. I don't care if they have $11 billion. It doesn't make a difference to me. As long as I can get mine, I don't care how rich they are or anybody else is. I'm just looking to be in a better position in the future than I am today. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to sit around comparing myself to a bunch of other people. I'm going to be thrilled when I get to where I think I'm going to get. And I think XRP could play a huge role in that for me personally in my life. And I'm sure that pretty much all of you are feeling the same thing in your own lives, with XRP and probably broadly crypto in general. But I don't care that Ripple continues to profit over a long period of time. That's their asset. There's been transparency from the beginning, and I don't care. And it's not Ripple's fault that there's a global market price for XRP. It's not their fault. It's been well documented from the very beginning, over a decade now, how much XRP Ripple has. And when they got that XRP, it was worth $0.00. Ripple couldn't make it be worth something. Yes, they got 80% of the supply right off the gate, which is a lot, and whether you like that or don't like it, in the end it doesn't matter because it was worth $0.00. There was nothing greedy going on about that. Not even a little bit. It was worth literally nothing. It's computer code. The rest of the world decided what it was worth, and that tremendously benefited Ripple, but that's not Ripple's fault that the world did that. It's not Ripple's fault the speculators did that. And isn't it good for all of us too? Isn't it? The fact that this is all here, and if Ripple ends up with $11 billion in the end, if that actually happens, because that's a real number, obviously, if that ends up happening, what the hell do I care if I get mine anyway? I'm just saying. You guys let me know what you think, but those are some of my general thoughts on this. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.